Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers, oh.
Oh, yeah. Love him, yeah.
On a warm summer's eve, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns staring out the window at the darkness. For boredom overtook us. He began to speak.
So how have you been anyway, Professor?
Yes, not too bad.
Not too bad.
Very strange time. Yeah, work's actually picked up a bit. Obviously, being an architect, I think there's a lot of, a lot of things on the horizon just to stimulate the economy again when it sort of takes off. So I think we're getting prepared for that. And I've been asked to go back to 4 days a week for because I was on 3 days a week. So I think things are starting to pick up a little bit. So that's positive.
So you're not working at home? You're not working at home at all?
I started working at home. I was working at home for about 3 or 4 weeks, but just too difficult with software and my computer, and we had to do a remote desktop to our work computers. And like doing 3D stuff was just too laggy, too slow. So last 3 weeks I've been in at the office. I'm the only one there, so it's it's not too bad.
It is safe.
Yeah, safe. Yeah. How about you? It's has it been much of a change for your work, or is it pretty business as usual?
Sort of business as usual. I'm working at home because most of the government department, they just lock everybody out from the building, etc. Fair enough. They got to set an example. That's okay. Treasury has a very good IT team. They fixed everything for us pretty much, within a couple of days. For my work, especially for my work, I'm in compliance work. Basically, we are the one actually keeping an eye on the entities, etc. So it's not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm working 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Good time, yes.
Yeah. All right. And now you have also renovated property as well for your son. How's that going? It was probably a difficult time to start a supermarket during this time, but it might be good.
Yeah, it was an extremely brave thing for him to do.
Yeah.
We opened actually just the day before Easter, Friday. Right in the middle of the pandemic. And it's okay. It's okay considering. As I actually was joking in the message, the post, I said actually I found a way accidentally how to lose weight. I spent about 8 weeks renovating, didn't go to bed till about 3 o'clock, and then also doing my own work, etc. I did lose 3 kilos.
Yeah. Well, you don't have much weight to lose in the first place. So.
No. But that's okay. I'm extremely fit too, because doing those work, what's the luck going up and down the stairs and also the ladder, also the thing. Yes.
Oh well, thank you very much for doing this, Ray. I know you've been busy lately, so thanks for sparing a few minutes to go through a few questions. I think it was good to get you on because I think you're definitely the oldest person I know I've trained with who trains jiu-jitsu. So it'd be good to get your perspective on certain things regarding age and sort of training into your golden years.
Yeah, the golden year.
But
the new 30.
Yeah. Now, to start off with, I don't know if you've seen the previous episodes, but we'll run through sort of 10 random questions, quick fire, just to, lighten the mood and get your quick ideas on a few things. So I'll start with that. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Welcome to question time.
All
1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38. 39. 40. 41. 42. 43. 44. 45. 46. 47. 48. 49. 50. 51. 52. 53. 54. 55. 56. 57. 58. 59. 60. 61. 62. 63. 64. 65. 66. 67. 68. 69. 70. 71. 72. 73. 74. 75. 76. 77. 78. 79. 80. 81. 82. 83. 84. 85. 86. 87. 88. 89. 90. 91. 92. 93. 94. 95. 96. 97. 98. 99. 100. 101. 102. 103. 104. 105. 106. 107. 108. 109. 110. 111. 112. 113. 114. 115. 116. 117. 118
Bye.
Okay. So, question 1. Now, these are pretty random, so don't read anything into them. When traveling long distances, do you prefer plane, train, or automobile?
Train, especially bullet train.
Or the train, yeah.
Yes.
Done a few of those, have you?
Yeah, well, I was in Japan for a few times. Yeah. So the best way to travel long distance.
Yeah. All right. Question 2. A favorite movie?
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. Oh, yes.
I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
Question 3. Favorite superhero growing up?
Superman.
Superman.
Yeah.
Okay, question 4. Of the following traditional weaponry, what would you choose? Nunchaku, bow staff, or dao sword?
Dao sword.
Yeah.
Mark, Jessica, you're up next. You ready?
Absolutely.
Your blade is curvaceous and sexy, and it will kill.
Growing up, I watched these 3 particular martial artists a lot. I'm not sure if they were around when you were that young, but I'm pretty sure you might have seen a few of their movies. Of the following 3, who do you prefer watching? Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, or Jet Li?
Bruce Lee. Definitely that time. After I start martial art, about a couple of years. Yeah.
Or don't hit back.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee's the man. All right. What are we up to? Question 6. What is the most important part of society? The individual, family, or the state?
Okay. Individual. However, there are fair bit of context, but it's too long for this kind of question.
We'll talk about that later.
Yes.
All right. Question 7. Of the following, what do you think is a bigger threat to the natural world? Human-produced carbon dioxide, overpopulation, or plastic?
Overpopulation, because human is the one producing all those other things. Exactly.
Question 8. What's your favorite music genre?
Country music.
Country. Okay. What are some of the big name country artists you listen to?
Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers.
Oh, yeah. Love him. Yeah.
He died not too
long ago. The late Kenny Rogers, indeed.
Yeah. Okay. Country music, that's good. Question 9. Of the following Olympic events, which do you prefer to watch? Greco-Roman wrestling, judo, or taekwondo?
Judo.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And last question. All right. Very serious question here. What order would you eat the following coloured jelly beans? Red, purple, and black.
Red, purple, and black. Just the color.
Yeah.
Rather than the taste.
Yeah.
In the order,
Do you actually eat the black jelly beans?
Yes, not as much. I like them, but I haven't eaten as much now for good reason. I'm more mature person. Like me, still need too much sugar.
Yeah, no, that's right. I stay away from sugar as much as I can now these days too.
You can always start renovating your place. Guarantee you lose.
Well, yeah, I have actually started some renovation jobs around the place.
Okay.
So hopefully I'll lose a bit of poundage off the waist because I've put on a bit with no training, and I'm still recovering from my ankle injuries. I haven't been able to do a lot of sort of aerobic stuff. So yeah, I'm really dying to get back to training because I need sort of other people around to motivate me. It's hard to sort of do it by myself. Whereas you, like you've sort of trained your whole life. We'll get into this a bit later, but so I really enjoy when you come to training because it sort of encourages. I think it encourages a lot of people, but it encourages me as well because I am getting to that sort of older stage where everything's starting to break down a lot quicker, and I can't wrestle as hard as I used to. And sometimes I think, I just can't be bothered anymore. But then I see guys like you who've been like training for years, and you're over 60, and you're still going hard, and it sort of gives me a bit of encouragement just to keep going. I might need to modify my training a bit, but just hang in there.
Indeed, yeah. Listen to your body.
Yes, my body has been screaming at me lately. So. All right, now, just before we get into sort of more of the martial arts side of your life,
sure.
Just want to ask you a few sort of questions about your childhood and upbringing. Now, am I right? Is you weren't born in Australia?
Yeah, perfectly right.
Yes. So where were you born? What year were you born?
Yes, I was born in South Vietnam. That was before the war. Actually, right in the middle of the Vietnam War. Yeah. I was born in 1957. That makes me 63 now.
63.
Yeah. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, I stopped counting when I turned 40 as well. So.
Yeah. I don't normally actually remember my age until somebody asks me.
So South Vietnam, whereabouts in Vietnam did you grow up?
Oh, okay. It was the Chinatown district at the time, adjacent to the capital city. At that time, it was called Saigon. And it's called Ho Chi Minh City now after the war. Yes.
Okay. And what was your childhood like? I suppose the war had a big impact on a lot of people at that time. Do you remember much about that, and was it a hard time?
For me, not for my family, not particularly hard. First of all, because we were quite insulated. My family has factory, biscuit factory. So we are reasonably well off. We have about 20 or 30 workers in the factory, although we also work ourselves as well. So we were okay. We were okay. Of course, being born in a third world country, even you're financially reasonably well off, still a lot of things we couldn't do, especially as the children, etc. As far as childhood concerned, it was much more simpler than the life we have now, especially in Australia. We didn't have television. no iPhones, no internet. Just think how much time we actually had in our hand. We had a lot of simple fun game, a lot of physical activity as well. Especially for me, I started martial art training pretty young. I actually trained about twice a day. So hard training or consistency never an issue to me. It's a lifestyle. Yeah.
When and why did you start martial arts training? Were you encouraged by your parents to train, or was it something you found yourself to do?
Yes, I started when I was 11. It was encouraged by my parents. The Sifu of mine was a very good friend. Is a very good friend of my parents. See, yeah, that's how I started.
Yeah. Okay. If you think back to, those times when you first started, and your the training methods and the very traditional way of training back then, and you compare it to sort of now and modern martial arts, what are the main differences, do you think?
I can only speak for my my experience and my own style. We did a lot of conditioning our style, especially the forearms, etc., and also the resistance, like toughening certain parts of the body. We did a lot of forms, or they call it kata in Japanese. Fair bit of control sparring, which are already set, technique, etc. Not much free sparring at all. Our training, concentrate fair bit on conditioning as well. Yes.
Yep.
First of all, I quite enjoy also the practical side of the modern training. It really focuses on the effectiveness of the training. They really want to see whatever we train, can we apply it, and also technique as well. So it's a good reality check. I like that. Just like the BJJ, you have to actually show that the technique works. Otherwise, you'll be the one end up being choked out. Yeah. So I quite enjoyed that. I also recognize that too much emphasis on the physical side. It appears to me that the other, the other part of martial art, which is the art side, is not being neglected. The art side, for example, it's also about self-discovery and building a character, and also building, the discipline, determination, self-reliance, and respect, etc. And I believe that part and not really talk about, especially in the class. You go in there, you do your training, etc. Yes.
Yeah. And do you see that in the students of today? Is there sort of a lack of, well, I hate to say it, but lack of respect? It's probably not their fault. It's sort of it's deteriorated over the years, I think. Like even from when I was young, like you'd never speak out of place to someone older than you. You always respect someone older. It seems like the youth of today, that respect, it's not that important. Do you agree with that?
Yes. Yes, I agree with you. I also see it's more a case of they don't realize something they don't know. If nobody actually show them respect means and how to behave, I don't think they actually intentionally disrespect anybody. But they just do not know what is a respectful way, as we know, to behave. Just other example you gave, not to speak, while in front of the more elderly people, etc., etc. But they never been told. That's how they do it.
So I guess it's kind of up to us, I guess, to remind them occasionally.
Yeah. Or actually, act respectful ways. Hopefully, they can see it. Rather, it's a bit hard to tell anybody be respectful.
Yeah.
I think the best way is for us to act respectful.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they'll pick it up.
Yeah. So just be an example, and hopefully they're picking up on it. Yeah. It's always the best teaching method, I think. Yeah. All right, we'll move on. So what year did you move to Australia? And I guess it was due to the war in Vietnam. Is that the case?
That's right, yeah. I came to Australia in 1976, yes, to escape the war and to join my uncle's family in Hobart.
Okay. So did you come by yourself or with your family?
By myself first. About a year later, my family came over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you from a large family?
Very large. We were reasonably large family. 5 sisters. I'm the only son.
Okay.
Yes.
Only son. How was that growing up with 5 sisters?
So I'm quite comfortable talking to opposite sex.
Yeah.
Working with them. Yeah, I know exactly where my place is.
Yeah.
Being the only son in a Chinese family, of course I had my privilege. Being I have to be honest, being treated slightly different, and also we did also the responsibility.
Responsibility,
as well. Yeah. I'm the one actually been looked upon as the person to look after the whole family when necessary, or the sister. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's it's quite automatic. It's a privilege to do so as well.
Yeah, that's good. And I guess in your culture, like, is family really important?
It's very important. Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yes.
Because I know that like you've only got one kidney now because
that's right.
You gave one to your sister.
Yes, I did.
And I don't know. I guess like if it came down to it, a lot of people would do it, but they'd have to think hard about it.
Yes.
Was that a hard decision for you? Or was it like, no, it's quite easy?
No, it wasn't a hard decision at all, because when I went through the whole thing with my younger sister, she was the youngest one. When I saw, how she went through, etc., I mean, the first thing I think, okay, I hope my blood type or suitable, etc. That's the only thing I thought.
Yeah.
I was so grateful that I was able to do it. Nothing worse than seeing somebody you love and you can't do anything about it. So it's a no-brainer. Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Now, from what I understand, you've have been quite dedicated to training right throughout your whole life, since those early days, starting martial arts right up until now, 63 years old. Has it been hard to stay motivated to that sort of training regime over that course of time?
To me, it wasn't hard at all. Having such a solid foundation when I was young, it was a second nature, a lifestyle for me. And also, having benefit from the effect of the martial training. Once they achieve certain level of fitness and enjoy the health from the martial training, you really don't want to give that up. And so to me, that's the biggest motivation to keep it up. So I have the fitness and also the health to do what I want to do.
Yeah. Now, when you left Vietnam, so you'd been training for a while, training martial arts for a while, and you came over here to Australia. Was it hard to get into the training you loved over here, or was it quite easy transition?
Yeah, it was quite easy, because when I came, Hobart was very different from now. as far as the population and also entertainment, etc. So martial art actually provide the necessary what I need to do in my spare time. It's nothing much at all at the time, you know. You probably aware of that. You know, we're talking about how many years ago? Ooh, when was that? Yeah, 40, more than 40 years ago. Nothing much at all happening. So martial art was a perfect thing for me to do actually in my spare time. Yeah.
Was it hard getting used to the Australian culture, Australian way of life back then?
I think the language was the most difficult part. Other than that, I fit in quite well. Yeah, and also so busy with work. As soon as I came over, I think I started working the very same night.
Oh wow!
And not stop. Yeah. After get off the plane was I think it was Sunday. Whatever, I started helping my uncle working.
Yeah.
So it was always got something to do. So and I was very lucky with my uncle and the family. They really look up to me. Yeah, really grateful for that.
Yeah, that's good. No matter how fit you are, age always seems to catch up eventually. And when that happens, you sort of realize that, you know, if I keep training as hard as I have when I was 25 or 35, I'm just going to start breaking and not healing. Did you notice, was there a sort of a strict time where you noticed that, oh, my body's changing here, I need to sort of slow down a bit?
I think it's when I took up distance running. I just like anything I did, I really went for it. I ran actually twice a day. When I took up distance running when I was 48. So recently advanced. Yeah. So at that time, because I did actually stretch my body a bit than I should. Yeah, my body did started to break down. The ankle, etc. Yes, and then I realized that, hang on, okay, probably I have to slow down a bit.
Yeah, was that a hard thing to take? Being very active your whole younger life, and then having to sort of, slow down because your body's just not catching up.
Yeah, when I slow down, instead of running twice a day, I ran once a day. So yeah, but during that time, I still kept up with my martial art training. It was good. A big part of my martial art training is about flexibility. So that helps a lot. With distance running, you get very stiff. The ankle, actually. So. And again, I was so busy, doing all other things as well. So I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, cool. All right, now the final set of questions about BJJ specifically. First one, how did you find out about Jiu-jitsu, and what gave you the motivation to just jump in and give it a go? Because it's probably different to what you've done previously.
How did I find out about Jiu-jitsu? I've heard about BJJ before and have watched a documentary about Hickson Gracie. I thought, oh, well, it looks like very interesting and intensive training. I always thought I would give it a go, but didn't manage to do it. My nephew, Nick Fong, actually told me he started BJJ a few years ago, and he really enjoyed it, and that's how I actually started BJJ. And also at that time, I decided to give running a rest because of my body, or I wanted to take on another physical challenge, and BJJ was a wonderful to give it a go. Yes.
Yeah. And do you remember the first class? What was it like?
Extremely intensive. But it was fun. I did it with my grandson. That was part of the reason I picked up the BJJ as well, because I wanted to do something with my teenager grandson, Sam. You probably remember the first class I had I was with him. He was my partner, much bigger than I am. It was really intensive. I was okay as far as cardio fitness concerned, also strength, because been doing distance running for so long. I also ran the Ponto Pinnacle just before I stopped running, so my cardio was okay that night. Strength wise, I've been doing a fair bit of body weight specific exercise, so it was okay too. But mobility was one really killing me. I had problem even mounting on somebody. I was mounting, I had problem. And when I went home after the first class, I couldn't sleep at all. It hurt a lot. Actually, the same thing happened for 3 months after BJJ. I couldn't sleep, especially after I had a free roll with somebody much younger than me and heavier than me. It hurt. It hurt for 3 months.
Yeah, it's training's hard for our club because we're kind of a small club, so we've got to tie the classes together, advanced and beginners in one class. So we've got to go at one level, and you don't have to keep up. We've just got to sort of try and maintain that level for the higher belts and the more experienced guys. And the beginners feel that they need to keep up. So I imagine there are a lot of sore bodies after the nights. So after that first initial class, and even sort of a few classes after that, what sparked your interest just to keep coming along and putting in the effort? Because training is quite even difficult sometimes. What gave you the motivation to just keep coming?
I think it's because the physical challenge of it, and also it really supplement my own style martial art training. I really love it, and also the people I trained with as well. It's quite important with you, being the good model, good mentor, etc. I think that makes a huge difference. If it's under different type of environment and culture, I probably would not actually enjoy as much and might end up just not going and doing myself. And also so much to learn. That's the reason I'm still white belts.
Well, I'm still learning stuff as well. I mean, I've been doing it for 20 years, and I'm never going to learn everything. That's why I'm still here. I think just because the learning just doesn't end. It's just goes on and on. So what are some of the hardest things for the older grappler to deal with at training?
And again, it all depends on the background of the older grapplers.
I would say there aren't many 63-year-olds as fit as you. Let's assume the average 60 years old probably they haven't got the same condition I have. Then I think it'll be extremely difficult as far as doing a concern. It's very physical demanding, as we all know that. The injury itself, because of if they haven't got a good level of conditioning, fitness, injuries are inevitable. And when you don't look your age, and then the younger people really want to try you out. And, I get that. I get that as well. Like with the black belt, you've always got a target on your back. Someone always wants to knock you off. I suppose the difficult part beside the physical part actually is how to
interact with the younger and heavier training partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a way, you don't want to be unfair to them, but actually, I never told anybody I was over 60, etc. Until I have to. I didn't think it's fair for them to actually hold back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did suffer some injury as a result because they did a couple of very over enthusiastic, especially higher belt. Did actually did go very hard. I suffered a bit of injury. But, yeah.
Lucky I didn't see that because I would have told them off.
But once they are aware of my background and my age, etc., they start to back off a bit. That's really good. That's what you call respectful.
Yeah. Yep. That's good. All right. And last question, Ray. What advice would you give to the older people out there who might be considering to come along to a jiu-jitsu class?
Yep. My suggestion is to minimize injuries. The best way to do it to maintain a really good level of fitness, conditioning, especially mobility, and flexibility.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
Yeah, I think going into old age, I think that's the most important thing is mobility, even more so than strength. And yeah, so, well, kind of, hopefully my mobility is going to be fine, but I've got a few BJJ injuries that causing me a bit of grief at the moment. So yeah, we'll see.
Yes, I suppose listening to your body is quite important. Yeah, understanding, the time you spend resting after intense training is as important as the training itself. That is the time your body to get stronger, and also there's a time you started to internalize the techniques you learn. So resting time is extremely important for an older person.
Yeah, so resting for the body and also the mind. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And that resting time does get larger the older you get, I've found out.
So you just tell yourself you're getting stronger the longer you rest.
That's right.
The stronger you get.
Yeah. All right, that's it, Ray. That was short and sweet, to the point, and much different to the previous episodes, which is kind of mentally exhausting for me because I'm not much of a talker, and it's here for hours talking with a few guys. But that's good, Ray. I think we've
thank you.
Made some good points and found out a bit more about you and your background, and that's really good.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. Now, hopefully we'll get to catch up face to face soon.
Yes.
And we'll be back at training soon, but I just don't know.
Yeah. You can always pop in my son's shop. That's where I live.
Oh, yeah. So you're in...
come and have a look.
You're in Elizabeth Street, aren't you?
That's right. Right. Yeah. Can I say
it? Yeah.
275 Elizabeth Street. It's called Fortuna Mart. Fortuna Mart. Yes.
All right.
Right in the middle of the city. North Hobart.
And that's open all day, the supermarket?
Yeah, 7 days a week.
7 days a week. Cool. All right. Well, thanks, Ray.
That's right.
Best of luck with your son and his supermarket venture. Hope it goes well in this time, and hopefully we'll see you very soon on the mats.
Yeah, that'll be good. I look forward to that. Yeah, and you take care of yourself as well. Okay. Bye.
Thanks, Ray. See ya.
Bye.
You got to know the whole